instantly. I'll give that a try. Man, that was instant.
What's going on, guys? Today's video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 track tips and track etiquette for beginners. I know most of the people that follow me have obviously been to the track before. They kind of have an idea what they're doing, but I wanted to make a video tailored to more the beginner, the people or the rider that's just kind of getting into the sport, and give them something to watch and make sure that when they go to the track, they're not doing something incorrectly, or just kind of make sure that they're, following what most riders would say is like track etiquette. Number 1 on my list, make sure when you sign up for a practice, you are riding within your skill level. One of the things that can make motocross even more dangerous than it already is going out and say, if you're a C rider, you sign up for the A and B practice because you don't want to be embarrassed of your skill level. So you head out in the A and B practice and you're crossing over the track and going left to right and riders are flying by you. That makes the sport more dangerous than it already is. Just put your ego aside. If you're a beginner, make sure you're in the beginner class. I know it's a whole, like I said, an ego thing with a lot of people, and they don't want to, or their buddies are roasting them, oh, you're in the C practice. Whatever, who cares? The main goal when you're practicing is to practice and to get better, and to enjoy it and not go home in an ambulance. And vice versa, if you're an A and B rider and you're on the verge of being an A rider or on the verge of being a B rider, but you're not there yet, you're too fast for the C practice, but you want to boost up your ego, you want to be passing people left and right. Don't be that guy. Don't sign up for the C practice if you're an A and B rider, because 1, you kind of just look like a prick, and 2, again, it's making it way more dangerous. You could land on somebody, you could run into somebody, something could happen, and you just want to avoid all that at all costs. Okay, number 2 kind of sort of goes with number 1. Stuck behind a slower rider, or you just don't want to go through a section because it's rough and rutted or something. Don't go and constantly cut the track and be that guy that is known for cutting the track, because it's either how you pass people, or 2, how you get through the track without actually facing the tough challenges of it. That's how you get better, is you gotta, practice. You gotta put yourself through the tough scenarios. Learn how to pass. You gotta learn how to ride the rough sections of the track if you want to get better. Riders like myself can tell out of the corner of our eye if we're, doing laps and we see one person at one part of the track, and then the next lap they're either farther ahead or they're in a completely different part of the track. We know that they're cutting. Just be kind of annoying, and that's how you make, I don't want to say enemies, but that's how you don't get on the good side of people at the track. And I get it if there's like a big pile up, or like you're pulling off the track because you're tired and you just want to take a breather for a second. Totally understand, totally get it. That's normal. As long as the track that you're at allows it, that's 100% okay. But if you're doing it lap after lap after lap, that's one way to get kicked out and not make yourself too many friends there. So number 3, I see this a ton, more so in like the A and B practices, but it happens in every single practice. You're not there to race. You're not at the practice track to race. You're at the practice track to practice. Going out and, stuffing some newer rider in a corner because you want to feel like the man, hopping behind somebody or hopping in front of a fast rider and going left to right and blocking and trying to race. Again, it makes it super dangerous for everybody else, including yourself. But 2, that's not the reason why you're there. You're there to get better. You're there to practice, improve your skills. Lap times don't matter. I get, if you're a professional and you're actually like out motoing and getting lap times and you're doing a 30 and whatever, or sprints or whatever it is, more often than not, those aren't the guys that are out like shoving people off the track and chopping front wheels off. You don't want to be that guy. You're there to practice. Do not let your ego take over. This is the worst thing you can possibly do, is put other people in danger at the practice track. So far, that's what most of these tips have been, is putting people at danger because of your own ego. I've seen a couple times at the track where they're out racing and going left to right and they're cross jumping and they're not holding their line, and then they come off the track and the person they were messing with gets in their face, and then all of a sudden we got a fight, and then all of a sudden you're on moto fails. You don't want to be that guy. That's probably the most dangerous one out of these top 5. It's good to learn how to pass, and it's good to learn how to get through traffic. Just don't be aggressive with it. If the pass isn't there, don't force it. You're not up for $1 million. You're not Eli Tomac. Obviously, the pro riders or, the more experienced riders watching this are going to know that, and they're going to agree with me. But if you're new to the track scene, don't be that guy. Number 4 is be respectful of the facility that you're at. There's not a lot of money in this sport, and the people that run these tracks, they're lucky if they're making, a good profit, or they're lucky if they're even breaking even some years. So be respectful. Like if you're at the track, you have tear-offs on your goggles, you pull a tear-off, throw the tear-off away. Don't throw it on the ground and let it blow in the wind. Don't dump your oil. Don't try your best not to spill gas. I know it happens, but try to just be respectful. And if you have trash at your pit, pick it up. These track owners put so much effort into giving us even a track to ride. The more years that have gone on, the less tracks that we've had, and the more that are shutting down. So just be respectful. I know it's almost common sense, but sometimes people don't have common sense. These track owners do a lot to give us places to do what we love to do. So just got to be respectful of that. Number 5 would be, if you see somebody new, even if you are new and they are newer to the sport, you can tell that they don't even know what's going on. This might be their very, very first time at a track, or their very first time riding a dirt bike on a track. Whatever the reason is, if you see somebody that needs help, help them. That's how this community grows, and that's how this sport grows. And I see it more oftentimes than not, the faster amateur riders especially. They'll see somebody struggling and they're making fun of them, and they're taking a Snapchat of it, and they're sending it to their friends and whatever. Everybody is there to have fun. Everybody is there because they love this sport. It could be as silly as getting their bike off of the stand. If they need help, help them, because that's how you make this sport more accessible to everybody. It's already expensive enough. If somebody can't afford the brand new Bell Moto 10 and they're running a cheaper version or a $200-$300 helmet, don't make fun of them because they have a cheaper helmet. Maybe they just got in this sport, they can't afford it. It could be their very first helmet, or it could be their very first pair of boots, or whatever. If their bike's old, whatever, man. As long as they're out there having fun trying, because I have a brand new Bell Moto 10 and look at this guy, he's on a 2002 KX2 Fit. Like, who cares? They're there to have fun, as long as they're wearing the proper gear. And if they're not, make sure to tell them, like, hey man, like I saw you're wearing jeans, or you don't have the proper gear. Like, this is what I would recommend, this is what I would do. Do something to make that person feel more confident when they're leaving the track, versus, oh man, like I felt like an idiot, like I don't really want to ride anymore, because that's how the sport declines. So that's my top 5 track tips and track etiquette tips. I'm sure there's a ton more. I could probably run through and have an hour-long video on this, but I'm gonna keep it nice and short for you guys. And if you do have any more questions on anything motocross related, you can head over to mxlocker.com or download the MX Locker app. You can use the Shop with an Expert tool. You can talk to pros like me, Jeff Walker, Jeff Emig, Kevin Moran's, like a couple other pros on there that are doing this right now. And yes, it's really us texting you back. You can ask us, tips on whatever, or, what do you recommend for suspension? What do you recommend for boots? Like, we'll give you our honest opinion. It's pretty cool to have a tool like that on MX Locker to kind of be able to help the community and kind of grow the community in that aspect. It's really cool, and I'm glad to be a part of that. So again, head over to mxlocker.com or download the app to check that out, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe on my YouTube as well. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions on anything that I may have touched in this video or may not have touched in this video, or if you want to see me go over a couple more specifics, I'd be happy to. Obviously, I've been doing this for 22 years. I've been doing this since I just turned 3. I do have a little bit of expertise in this area. So if you have any questions, drop the comments down below. I'll be sure to read and go and respond to every single question that I see. But until next time, I will catch you guys later.